Welcome to Gaming's Greatest, a show where we analyze certain aspects of a game and discuss the genius behind them, discovering what truly makes it one of gaming's best. Today we'll be taking a look at Animal Crossing New Leaf. What is it that makes a game scary? Is it the graphical prowess of a game that causes one to fear, finding the realism to hit closer to home above all else? Perhaps the controls or lack thereof, forcing the player to feel not empowered, but rather helpless and weak. Or maybe it's the sound design, masterfully manipulating the ambience of the game into setting the player at unease. Whatever the case may be, the survival horror genre in particular, while dormant for a peculiarly long amount of time, has seen a resurgence as of late, and has since been thriving more than ever. And as a result, thinking up one game to focus on for a Halloween special was quite a difficult thing to do, having such a wide number of dynamic and impressive horror titles to choose from, both old and new. But this year, I found that one game has frightened me above all else, and that game, as crazy as it may sound, is Animal Crossing New Leaf. Now, Animal Crossing New Leaf is a rather intelligent game and gets a lot of things right. It's funny how Animal Crossing City Folk is the perfect contrast to New Leaf, and that the formula, by then, had truly grown stale and needed one impressive rehaul. And Nintendo did just that with the Animal Crossing franchise's first outing on the Nintendo 3DS. With improved character models as well as sharper graphics overall, the ability to play mayor and customize your town to your liking, swimming, and just a ton of improvements ranging from something as complex as online to something as simple as stacking fruits, Animal Crossing New Leaf got a lot right. And while there are plenty of new features I'd love to discuss when digging into what made this game so great, there's one in particular that, although at first glance not much more than a neat little distraction, actually makes for one of the richest and most complex elements I've seen in a video game, as well as one of the spookiest. So pull on your jammies and turn on a nightlight, because we're taking a nightmare-fueled trip into the Dream Suite. Ever wanted to visit the town of a Nintendo employee, or maybe even a popular YouTube personality? How about visiting the town of a friend and just completely destroying everything in sight without any consequences? Well then, let's be honest, you've probably already done it anyway, consequences be damned, but with the power of the Dream Suite, you could do just that. Indeed, through the use of a simple dream address, one could share and access a plethora of different towns. Whether you had a particular address in mind, or instead opted for a randomized town to explore and visit, perhaps picking up some design tips or simply soaking in the culture of a villager foreign to you, the Dream Suite was a neat little feature unique to Animal Crossing New Leaf. But that was still just it. A neat little feature. Or so it seemed. It's funny, although I'd unlocked the Dream Suite not too far into the game, the concept, from what I could tell, never really appealed to me. I got the basic gist of it, sure, but it never stood out to me as something all that special. But then, as fate would have it, I found myself working on a certain video and wound up paying an infamously spooky village a visit. The village of Ica. And one single visit to that lonely, mysterious, and above all eerie village would end up changing my opinion of the Dream Suite entirely. If you're a fan of Animal Crossing, by now you've probably heard about the infamous village. But for those of you unfamiliar, allow me to elaborate. Ica is a dream town in Animal Crossing New Leaf that went viral back in December of 2012, made by a Japanese gamer named Goraku. Praised for its unsettlingly creepy atmosphere, the town and its open interpretation story generated tons of buzz amongst fans, going on to spawn countless fan theories, art, and creepypasta. Ica was inspired by Nico Nikori Village, a town in New Leaf created by Earthbound's very own Shigesato Itoi, a game designer known for his use of strange and disturbing themes in what would otherwise appear to be games intended for children. It's incredibly fitting, considering the setting of Animal Crossing has always been a pleasant and non-threatening one. But with a little demented creativity, Goraku was able to twist that easygoing atmosphere into something truly unsettling. And it's because of the game's typically happy-go-lucky vibe that this becomes so compelling, so powerful, so unabashedly terrifying. When you play a game like Resident Evil or Dead Space, you go into it knowing what to expect: horror, death, and fear. And while these games of course still achieve impressive highs with regards to scares, I have to say there's something truly special about the way Ica manages to make you feel so genuinely uncomfortable. If you're the kind of person who can easily suspend their disbelief and get lost in the tone of the world you're placed in, this is an experience unlike any other. The concept alone of visiting a hypnotist and having them send you into some sort of dream world is unsettling enough, and the way you awaken from your synthesized slumber only reinforces that feeling of unease. You arise to find yourself in the middle of the town's plaza, and that's when it hits you. This is no reality. The sudden change of weather or time of day accompanied by an ethereal rendition of the hour's music help muster up the lingering sense that something isn't quite right. It's like walking into a memory that's not your own. You feel almost as if you're intruding on something personal and private. It's discomforting and yet inspires curiosity. What's going on here? And so you choose to explore this warped, dreamlike fantasy world. What awaits you is genuinely disturbing. Thanks to the brilliant levels of customization available to the player, it's possible to turn a seemingly innocent village into something far more dark and sinister. Players could alter the world to their liking, whether it was intentionally leaving holes and tree stumps sprawled across the barren landscape, or covering the walls in blood. And there's something truly unsettling about watching that unfold. It becomes more than just a bare-bone theme park-esque haunted mansion, because there's evidently history and narrative behind it. The difference is that story is told solely through the well-crafted aesthetics, relying on smartly placed and disturbing objects, as well as clever use of sound to help paint a picture in the player's head of just what sort of horrifying events must have transpired there. And as a result of this, many interpretations have spawned online and continue to add to this chillingly mysterious village. And that perfectly reflects the perhaps accidental genius behind Animal Crossing New Leaf's Dream Suite. What started out as a tool for simply accessing towns you'd likely otherwise never get a chance to see, evolved into something even greater. A gateway into the creative mind of a villager with a story to tell. This particular story being one of the spookiest I've ever experienced. And whether that was Nintendo's intention from the start is neither here nor there. It was a collaboration between the two, player and developer. Nintendo's team provided players the tool to create something truly unique, even if set within various restrictions and boundaries. Yet it's the limitations that make these creations all the more impressive and, in this case, frightening. Sometimes, on special occasion, when an individual or group of individuals is forced to make the most of what they have to work with, it results in something truly memorable. Nintendo has been doing this for years, and now, through the unlikeliest of features, they've finally given us the chance to do the same. And because of that, I'd have to say that Animal Crossing New Leaf truly is one of gaming's greatest.